Today, you'll meet 20 people with unusual lives. Here, we'll explore how these individuals break all the standards society considers normal and lead their lives down opposite paths, disregarding what others think. Let's watch it. It's fascinating. Caroline. Eating the same foods every day is extremely boring for most people, unless you're this 25-year-old girl whose life revolves around a daily diet of oatmeal and formula milk that she won't change for anything in the world. Her drastic medical history began at age 2 when she had her first anaphylactic reaction to crackers and was rushed to the hospital. But this was just the beginning of a long series of severe allergic reactions that eventually led to a diagnosis of mast cell activation syndrome. According to Caroline, this condition means that the patient can have severe allergic reactions to all kinds of common things. In her case, the biggest triggers are food, pets, and pollen. However, at 19, she had such a severe reaction that it reduced her list of safe foods to just oatmeal and baby formula. The young woman also admits she often gets bored eating the same things day in and day out. But when she joined TikTok to post videos explaining her illness, the response surprised her. Suddenly, she started receiving recipe suggestions to try, allowing her to expand her repertoire and fall in love with food again. However, she has also faced skepticism and was mocked online, where people accuse her of faking her illness. As if that weren't enough, something as simple as leaving the house or socializing with friends requires intricate planning and precautions. But with the support of her mother, Julie, she has been able to cope with the restrictions imposed by her condition. Leveraging her strong presence on social media, Caroline is determined to raise awareness about mast cell activation syndrome while encouraging people to appreciate what they have and to find the positive side of life. Kelly Sparks. At 27, this woman made a drastic decision that would change her life forever. She quit her job as a community manager to fully dedicate herself to scavenging through dumpsters for salvageable items that she could sell for a significant profit. Alongside her husband, they spend their days sifting through other people's waste, and astonishingly, they find almost everything they need, from clothing to toiletries to food and beverages. Even more shocking is that their dumpster diving allows them to save $500 a month on products they would otherwise buy, while also earning over $17,000 a year selling valuable items they discover. Far from what many might imagine, she insists that her new lifestyle isn't as unpleasant as it sounds, as most of the food they rescue is sealed and unopened, making it safer than it appears. Additionally, Kelly notes that her motivation goes beyond saving money. She's genuinely committed to raising awareness about the massive waste of resources and products, and even donates part of her haul to charities to reduce waste and help those in need. Paige. A brief glance at this young woman makes her look like any other 25-year-old, but upon closer inspection, your perspective completely changes as she dresses in baby clothes, wears diapers, and has a room decorated like a little girl's, complete with a crib and dozens of toys scattered everywhere. For her, this is not just a whim, it's a lifestyle that begins every morning when she wakes up in her crib, changes her diapers, which cost over $300 a month, and spends time playing with her stuffed animals before starting her workday. Regarding her job, Paige creates content for an online subscription service where she interacts with others who also enjoy the adult baby lifestyle. While her routine may seem strange to many, she explains that it doesn't mean she has a childish mentality. She's still a functional adult, responsible for paying her bills and fulfilling her obligations. And she is also engaged to her boyfriend. Ultimately, this adult baby asserts that her lifestyle is a form of self-expression and comfort, and she is determined to normalize it, hoping that others who share this interest won't feel shame or judgment for reliving their early childhood years. Joyce Del Vescovo. This woman faces an uphill battle with her weight of 765 pounds and a body mass index of 160, almost 7 times the recommended amount for someone her age and height. Her story began at age 8 through a tumultuous relationship with food, as the pain of her parents' divorce led her to live with her grandmother. In a desperate attempt to fill the emotional void she felt, she found solace in food, and this refuge became a devastating addiction, skyrocketing her weight to more than triple what is considered healthy. Upon reaching adulthood, Joyce gained an additional 440 pounds as her relationship with food became even more destructive. The situation escalated to the point where she had to close the daycare she had run with great effort, as she could no longer keep up with the children due to her growing size. This loss triggered a deep depression that isolated her at home while she continued to eat uncontrollably. Eventually, her condition became so severe that she required a tank of oxygen to breathe. Desperate for a change, she sought help from a weight loss expert. At first, things went well, and she even lost 145 pounds. But unfortunately, she dropped out of the program and regained the lost weight in less than 9 months. Elizabeth Sweetheart. She is known in her Brooklyn neighborhood as the Green Lady because for the past 25 years, she has transformed her life into a tribute to this color. From head to toe, everything in her wardrobe is bright lime green, and her dyed hair matches, completing this striking and vibrant look. What's even more impressive is that her love for this color doesn't stop at fashion. Once you cross the threshold of her home, you're immersed in a world where absolutely everything is green. Whether it's the carpets, utensils, plates, pots, or even the sponges in the sink. Her coffee mug, vitamin pills, and cabinet knobs are also green, ensuring that every corner of her home reflects her unwavering commitment to this color, which she says provides her with an endless source of joy and vitality. The origin of this passion dates back to her childhood in Nova Scotia, Canada, but it was a trip to Florida that ignited her love for lush greenery. Fascinated by palm trees and the deep green of the sea, she began painting those landscapes and found a spiritual connection in this hue. Over the years, her dedication to the color has inspired her neighbors and friends, prompting them to gift her items in her bright green favorite color on festive occasions like her birthday or Christmas. Cassianne. She is the mother of 9-year-old Bug and 8-year-old Bunny. 2 young girls she pulled out of school because she believes educational institutions are like prisons for children. The Englishwoman made this drastic decision despite facing massive criticism, claiming that she left school at 14 and is now a millionaire with her own business. Cassianne said she wanted to take her daughters out of school after the 6th grade, but decided to withdraw them earlier due to how the school system is structured. She also mentions that she dislikes what is taught in schools and believes children learn more when given freedom rather than sitting in a classroom for 6 to 8 hours a day. Furthermore, she stated that her daughters did not participate in the decision to pull them from school, but assures that if they want to, they can attend college in the future. However, this doesn't mean they receive no education. Every Monday, Bug and Bunny have a tutor who teaches them lessons at home, and the rest of the week, they learn activities like cooking and cleaning. While both girls admit they miss their school friends, they say they don't miss math and science classes because they found them too difficult to learn. At the same time, the mother of these young girls has received negative comments about the excessive makeup her daughters wear and for buying them designer clothes, especially since they don't even make an effort to learn valuable lessons in school, which they have already left behind. In any case, Cassianne defends her parenting style, arguing that she is a millionaire entrepreneur and hopes Bug and Bunny will follow in her footsteps one day without the need for advanced education. Maria Isadora and Maria Isabel Freitas. One of the most complex cases in medicine involves conjoined twins united by the skull, making separation almost impossible without risking the life of one or both twins. However, the story of these sisters defies all odds. United at the skull and sharing several blood vessels but with separate brains, the twins faced an uncertain future. During the first 18 months of their lives, they struggled to develop normally while being conjoined. Hope arrived when a team of doctors decided to undertake a monumental mission. Thanks to physicians from around the world traveling to Brazil, they completed 4 extremely complex surgeries aimed at giving the twins a chance at independent lives. Against all odds, the surgeries were a resounding success. Not only did the girls survive, but they also recovered surprisingly quickly without major complications. Today, Maria Isadora and Maria Isabel are embarking on a new phase marked by the independence that once seemed impossible just a couple of years ago, heading toward a bright future as survivors of one of the most intricate cases in medical history. Shannon. While smelling gasoline is already dangerous, for this girl, drinking it is even more shocking. For several years, she has maintained this disturbing habit of preferring to consume gasoline as if it were coffee, describing the experience as almost addictive. Each sip of the fuel gives her an intense tingling, followed by a burning sensation in her throat, akin to drinking extremely strong liquor. Despite the pain she sometimes feels, she admits that the pleasure it brings her outweighs any discomfort. As a result, she consumes about 12 tablespoons of gasoline daily, either sipping it directly or inhaling the vapors before drinking. What's most perplexing is that Shannon is fully aware of the risks she takes and knows that consuming gasoline can lead to internal burns, irreversible damage to her digestive system, and even death. Nevertheless, she confesses that she wouldn't trade the burning sensation the fuel provides for anything in the world. Laura Hudson. For nearly a decade, this Englishwoman worked in the textile and design industry. But she always felt something was missing in her life, as her deepest desire was to become a mermaid. Since childhood, she had dreamed of swimming with a tail and gliding underwater, so one day she decided to make her dreams a reality in the best way possible. Now known as Mermaid Twinkle, Laura transformed her passion into a profession. Armed with her artificial tail, she travels the world performing aquatic shows that leave everyone in awe. Now that she is known as the real-life Little Mermaid, she has achieved something few can say. She earns a living as a professional mermaid. Her skill and dedication have positioned her as one of the best in her field, having won prestigious titles like Miss Mermaid Lincolnshire and Miss Mermaid UK. She has also participated in world championships where her swimming and diving abilities, along with the quality of her costume, are rigorously evaluated. Most importantly, she made her dream come true and now swims proudly toward new adventures. MJ Johnson. While growing a mustache may not be a traditional sport, MJ has achieved remarkable success, winning 50 beard and mustache contests, including 4 national championships in the United States, making him a true celebrity in Minneapolis, his lifelong home. His adventure began when he was inspired by the facial hair of the members of ZZ Top and decided to grow his beard in extravagant ways. 15 years later, his efforts paid off epic proportions. With a mustache measuring 45 centimeters, he claimed the coveted title of world champion at the beard and mustache tournament held in Belgium. But it's not all about length, as this dedicated competitor knows well. MJ explains that winning a world championship requires more than just growing facial hair. Judges evaluate shape, style, and award extra points for outfits and stage presence. Consequently, each competition is an ever-evolving art form that requires countless hours of grooming to ensure his mustache is competition-ready. Shay, if you believe Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year, then this lady's house in Tulsa, Oklahoma is a festive paradise that defies all logic. Shay has not only an overflowing passion for the holiday season, but her obsession borders on the supernatural. She has 168 Christmas trees adorning her home. Each one is a masterpiece in itself, decorated with a staggering total of 50,000 ornaments. The spectacle doesn't stop there, as over 100,000 lights illuminate every corner of her house. In fact, the lights emit so much heat that during the winter, she doesn't need heating to keep her home cozy. Notably, assembling this festive empire requires at least 2 months of preparation, dedicating 12 hours just to set up the largest tree. While she acknowledges that her obsession borders on madness, for her, there's nothing more pleasurable than creating unique themed worlds on each tree, transforming her home into a magical portal of pure Christmas cheer. Felicity Cadleck Rossi. At 13, she acquired a strange zombie doll without realizing that over the years, it would become her most loyal companion. The toy, named Kelly Rossi, was not just a plastic figure. To Felicity, it had a vibrant and unique personality. Their connection was so profound that several years later she decided to marry the doll, sealing an eternal bond that many consider unusual. But for her, it's a reality filled with love. The story of Felicity and Kelly hasn't been a fairy tale without complications. Several times, the doll's peculiar appearance, with its grotesque zombie design, led to severe misunderstandings. On more than one occasion, police were called due to reports of a possibly lifeless child, as passers-by didn't realize it was just a toy. Though the situation was resolved quickly upon verifying it was merely a doll, Felicity faced a constant wave of criticism and disapproval from those who didn't understand her love for Kelly. Despite the controversy and rejection, this young woman remains steadfast in her devotion. For her, Kelly is not just a doll, but a symbol of unwavering comfort and support. especially after the tragic loss of her father when she was 16. Michelle Cairns. In the early 1960s, troll dolls dazzled children around the world with their fluffy hair and mischievous expressions. While they are now just a nostalgic memory for many, there's one fan who took her love for these toys to an extreme level. With a collection exceeding 3,000 trolls, Michelle has become not only an expert on these dolls, but a true legend among collectors. Her obsession began at the age of 10, leading her to develop an unwavering passion for these dolls that transformed every corner of her home into a vibrant sanctuary filled with color and extravagant hair. To continue expanding her collection, she dedicates at least 4 days a week to exploring thrift stores and garage sales in search of her next troll, averaging 3 new dolls each week. Even though her husband doesn't share her fascination, Michelle is determined to keep going, insisting that she will never have enough trolls. Sandra Ramos, known as the biggest purple fanatic, it's easy to see why she earned this title. For over 45 years, she has lived immersed in this color, a passion that started simply when she bought a pair of purple pants, sparking an uncontrollable obsession with everything related to this vibrant hue. From that moment on, she decided it would be the only color in her life. Sandra's dedication to purple knows no bounds, as she has painted every corner of her home, from the walls to the garden statues. Her kitchen appliances shine in the same shade, and even her hair is dyed purple, creating a perfect harmony between her personal style and her environment. For Sandra, her home is a refuge of creativity, and she highlights that children love it because they are still guided by their imagination. However, she also acknowledges that many adults look at her with skepticism and reject her style for challenging societal norms. Nevertheless, she admits that she pays little attention to others' criticisms because, in her opinion, living in a completely purple world is her greatest expression of freedom. Tom Peters, have you ever looked at your dog sleeping peacefully and thought how wonderful it would be to live a worry-free life without work or responsibilities? For most, those thoughts are just fleeting escapes from daily routines. But 32-year-old Tom has taken that fantasy to reality in a surprising way. This Englishman found a unique way to escape the stress and pressure of daily life by dressing up as a dog. Each day, he dons a Dalmatian costume, puts on a collar, and crawls on all fours. Under the name Spot, he adopts a role that allows him to experience life from a completely different perspective, walking in the park on a leash, sleeping in a kennel, and enjoying dog treats served in a bowl. Tom admits that the costume isn't just a form of escape, it's a liberating experience. Although his behavior mimics that of a puppy, he assures that he maintains his humanity in critical moments. When nature calls, he switches back to his human mindset and handles the situation in a conventional manner, just as anyone else would. Ultimately, the man-dog expresses that becoming Spot is not just a hobby, but a way to find peace and joy in a world that often feels too hectic. Nourul Majabin Hassan. This 20-year-old math student from Orlando, Florida, has challenged the norms of conventional relationships with a shocking decision. She's engaged to marry the video game Tetris. While many find this decision absurd, for her, it's a surprising response to the loss of her previous boyfriend, a calculator named Pierre, who suffered irreparable damage during a cleaning. Now, using the name Fractal Tetris Hurricane, she declares herself part of the objectophilia community, a phenomenon where people develop attraction and love for inanimate objects. To illustrate how far she has come, her love stories include a series of relationships with various objects, from an iPod to a monorail, each occupying a special place in her heart before Tetris captured her total fascination. Nourul's passion for this video game is so deep that she dedicates over 12 hours a day to playing it. Her home is also decorated with Tetris-themed items, and she even plans a wedding ceremony where Tetris will be the center of attention, inviting family and friends to share in her love for the game. Kumari. In the heart of the Kathmandu Valley in Nepal, residents uphold a mystical and revered tradition, the goddess Kumari. This ancient ritual of the Newar ethnicity elevates several young girls to a celestial status, making them the living reincarnation of the goddess Taleju. For these young girls, life changes dramatically. They first undergo a rigorous selection process, where they must pass a long list of physical and spiritual tests to ensure their purity and strength. Only the most worthy are chosen to assume the sacred role of Kumari, and once selected, the living goddesses are taken to the Kumari Gar Palace, where they must follow strict rules, such as never allowing their feet to touch the ground and being confined to the palace, only emerging for specific festivals. These young girls, revered by the entire community, even receive the respect of the kings of the Shah dynasty, who seek their blessings. When the girls reach puberty, they abandon their divine status and return to their homes to resume their ordinary lives, leaving behind the aura of divinity that once belonged to them. Deb Hoffman. It all started in 1967 when she was a child and received her first Winnie the Pooh stuffed animal, unaware that this gift would mark the beginning of a colossal obsession. Over the years, the adorable yellow bear from the stories written by A. Milne became much more than a toy. It transformed into the center of her universe. In 2009, her passion led her to register her name in the prestigious Guinness World Records, thanks to her astonishing collection of 4,405 Winnie the Pooh-related items. However, her journey as the biggest fan of the bear didn't end there. Year after year, she continued to expand her collection, and finally, in December 2020, she broke her own record again with a total of 20,000 souvenirs. Today, the magnitude of her devotion is so great that her collection nearly fills both of her residences in Florida and Wisconsin. But the most important question is, what drives this endless fascination? For Deb, Winnie the Pooh is a refuge and serves as a reminder of life's simple and positive values, far removed from drama and negativity. Therefore, in Pooh's world, there's always a lesson of kindness and tenderness, providing a perfect escape from modern chaos. Candace and Steve. The city of Altadena in California is the home of this couple, not only for themselves, but also for their extensive collection of rabbit-related items. With the goal of sharing their love for these animals with the rest of the world, they brought to life one of the most unique and charming museums on the planet, the Rabbit Museum, dedicated exclusively to their long-eared friends. Their hobby began innocently at the start of their relationship, when they gifted each other rabbit-themed souvenirs. What began as a sweet gesture soon turned into a daily tradition, and before they knew it, their collection of items related to these adorable animals skyrocketed to unprecedented levels. After 5 years of accumulation, Candace and Steve decided to open the doors of their home and share their passion with the world. Today, the Rabbit Museum houses over 35,000 objects, including art, books, stuffed animals, figurines, and games. Among the most touching pieces are their former pet rabbits, now taxidermized so visitors can see what their beloved companions looked like in life. In short, it's a place that not only celebrates rabbits, but also stands as a testament to the love and dedication that has united Candace and Steve for so many years. Maritza Cruz. This woman's journey to amass the largest collection of Garfield memorabilia began unexpectedly in 1980 when the comic strip featuring the famous orange cat had only been in circulation for 2 years. It all started after a fight with her husband, who, as a gesture of reconciliation, gifted her a stuffed toy of the lazy feline. What he never imagined was that this simple gift would spark an obsession that would accompany her for decades. Since then, Maritza not only read all the comic strips and watched the cartoons featuring the character created by Jim Davis, but she also began collecting any item related to the lasagna-loving cat. Her devotion reached such heights that she even acquired a Volkswagen Beetle painted the same orange color as her favorite character. 44 years after her obsession began, her collection has grown impressively to over 10,000 pieces, which she has acquired from thrift stores, gifts, and eBay auctions. Although she doesn't know for sure how many items she currently owns, Maritza has no interest in obtaining the world record, as Guinness World Records officials asked for $27,000 to evaluate her collection, an amount she considers too high, which she could instead use to keep acquiring Garfield items. Now tell me, which of these lifestyles do you find the most peculiar? Share your thoughts in the comments. Here are 2 options that you'll surely love.